Hi everyone, welcome from Acumen Accounting. Today's video is a very different video and it's a very important if you really wanted to be an entrepreneur and the way you think, and if you wanted to change the way you're thinking about your business and you want to be an entrepreneur, you must watch this video. So I'm going to discuss a book called 0 to 1 by Peter Thiel, and one of his students, Black Master, his name is on the book as well. You can see that image on the screen now, where you can see the front page of that book. Peter Thiel is a co-founder of PayPal with Elon Musk. We know who Elon Musk is. He is one of the richest person in the world as we speak. So I'll come back to this book. This book is written by Peter Thiel. One of his student made some notes, and these notes become a book at a later stage. So in this book, what Peter Thiel suggests, what his opinions are, because he's a billionaire. He's one of the outsider first investor in the Facebook as well. He look up the startups. He has that vision and he has that quality to create new brands and new startups. So I'll come back to his opinions and the way he communicate with all different things. So what he says in book is, it's about how you think and how you communicate with people. Is if you look at this diagram, which is just on your screen now, is we have a growth like x-axis and y-axis. So what's happened is people go towards horizontal growth. What horizontal growth is, they basically copy the existing ideas and they basically try to just make money out of it. But whole point of this book is to come up with new ideas, to come up with the new billion-dollar idea. So that's the whole point of this book is. I'll come to some of the key points which I've made some notes in front of me. So I'll just go some of my observations and some suggestions. So what Peter Thiel says is that each movement happen only once. So for example, the next Bill Gates will not make an operating system. The next Mark Zuckerberg will not enter into the social media market. The next billionaire, the next idea will be different. It's not going to be existing idea. They come up with a different idea. So what he says is that all ideas are different, and if you wanted to change and if you wanted to come into this business world, you need to come up with new ideas, new thinking. So all these person who already introduced these billion-dollar ideas are different. They come up with the new thing. At the start, people not even believing on them. What are you talking about? It's all rubbish. It's not going to work out. Why people will put their personal details? For example, kind of the Facebook. At the start, Mark Zuckerberg had so much criticism. People were saying, why would I put my picture on internet? Why would I put my relationship status on the internet? Why would I tell people what I'm doing? But now, look at everywhere, in our social media, what we're doing, we're putting our personal lives as well, the sharing our life, how we live, where I've been to, my holidays and all these stuff, So the time has proven what he has visualized in a few years back. So this is one of the things. The next point he says, there's no formula, because for any new inventions, there's no formula. There's no formula to be a billionaire. There's no formula to get into it, because every new idea is unique and is innovative. So when you are innovative and unique, there is no formula. So when you're trying to copy something, then there is a formula. For example, this water bottle. If I wanted to sell another water bottle, I just have to copy this idea. So I'll stick my label on instead of this Nestle labels. So I will start selling it, and that's not innovation. That's not unique. So whoever wanted to be into this billion-dollar market, they has to come up with the new ideas. They has to come up with the new craziness. That's how you will be successful. That's how you will inject these new things. So any entrepreneur who wanted to be up there, they have to come up with unique ideas, because there's no formula at all. And the next one is a company's most important strength. What is a most important strength for the company is? It's a new thinking. It's about how you take your company further. It's not about anything else. It's not about finance. It's not about how you do business. It's about new thinking, new ideas, and improve your things. Look, we are in this pandemic. The lockdown has happened, and what happened is we as a human, we came up with new thinking, new ideas, how we can improve our business and how we can still stay in the business and continue to run a business as well. So this is the few points. So in this book, I'm just going step by step what he has actually discussed. He said, focus on your product, not the sales. So if you wanted to make your idea or your product successful, you need to focus on it, because as much as the sales is important, your product is important as well. So if you spend millions of dollars or pounds on sales or on your marketing and your product is not good, it's rubbish, it's not going to sell it. So what you need to do is you need to focus on the product itself, because that product is important, because this will resell and will bring more business and residual incomes in the future. So this is very, very important rather than just focusing on the sale. So he said, whenever you're making a plan, you need to make sure the future of it, because without the future, you will not be able to make it successful. So that is one of the things. And the next thing which he talk about in his book is about monopoly. So I know so many people think about a monopoly is not good, because if you have a monopoly, you can manipulate prices. You can set your own prices by, in the market, and then people think, they have a monopoly, nobody else is selling this product, and how you're going to be, in the business, because they have all the rights to do it. But what Peter Thiel says is, being a monopoly, you are more creative. You focus on your product rather than you focusing on your competitors, and start selling your products cheap. So because if you sell product cheap, you have to employ the staff on a low wage. They probably not be very competitive, or they not be very competent to do the job, because they're just going with the flow. So monopoly is one of the things who create a part to be an innovative as well. For example, he mentioned the name of a Google. Google has kind of a monopoly in the market. But what happened is Google come up with so many different ideas. Like, they give you so many free bits. For example, you have a Google Maps, then the Google Documents. Google have that operating system. Google also give you the search engine to search and where you want it to go. You can have so much information on the Google. So if you focus on their business very closely, because they have a monopoly, they also come with innovative ideas, because they don't have to compete with any different person. Because we understand they have a Yahoo search engine, and the Microsoft also have, but the market share is very less. It's not as same as the Google has. So by having a monopoly in the market, you also have an advantage to be creative and focus on your products and the business and how you can create money. Of course, being a monopoly, you make more money than anybody else if you're competing with a different brand or different companies. But you basically left the innovative ideas and the imaginations you wanted to create for the future. So this is one of the key points he also mentioned in this book. So monopoly is not always a bad thing. It's not like no-go area. By being a monopoly, you also focus on creating new stuff. You also focus on creating valuable information. And sometimes, for example, I just mentioned like Google Maps, it's a free. Anybody can use it. You just need an internet connection. So that's one of the very important things. So whenever you're looking for startups, always look for a vertical. Always come for a new idea, because the existing idea is not going to work, because you already have a very strong presence and the competition in the market. Now the next point he says is, rivalry causes us to copy paste. That's correct, because when you are in the competition and you want it to be ahead of the market, you start copying other people's ideas, you start copying different ideas, and by copying different ideas, you lose the originality, you lost kind of your innovative thinking, and you just copying existing idea as you maybe probably making a bit of a money to have a decent life. But that's not what we are talking about today, because today video is all about innovation. It's all about new ideas, and it's all about how you be creative in your business on the field you want it to be. And the last one, which I would love to mention, is last can be the first. So what he says in his book is, it's not always about a first person in the market. It's not always about you made a first move and you'll be successful. The last person could be the first as well. But by moving first is a tactic, not a goal. So if you're moving first, you need to be very tactful. You need to be very focused on different areas, because if you are first in the market, it doesn't mean always you'll be successful. You probably run out of cash very soon, and then your idea will be nothing, because it's all about your tactics and the goals you want it to be. So whenever you are in the market, so for example, you're the last in the list, and you start working slowly upwards, and then you could probably make at the top. So it's not always a last person couldn't make anywhere. It's all about tactics. It's all about how you wanted to do a business. So the conclusion of this book is, whenever you want to be a startup, if there is a new company, it's easy to make them focus on new things, new ideas, because by new ideas, by innovative, you can create something which will change the future, which will come up with the different ideas. So whenever you're thinking about, always look for a vertical line, not the horizontal line. By copying somebody else's ideas, of course you can make a bit of a money, but that's not the point of whole making this video. Again, this book which I found is very informative, and I thought I'd just put my views on this startup, because Peter Thiel is one of a very good business person, which I've monitored him closely. I've seen his lectures as well, because this is a book based on his lectures in Stanford. His student who was in the lecture, he made some notes called Black Master. He wrote this book, and this compile of his notes is now is the book everywhere. So it's all about 0 to n. N mean nothing. It's all about 0 to 1. So 0 to 1 is you creating some new thing, new idea, new innovation. And 0 to n, n means nothing. So that means you're just copying existing ideas. If you guys think, if you have read this book, some of you can just put your comments at the bottom of this video, and we can have some of the discussions. But again, thank you for listening. Stay safe, stay healthy. Bye for now.